And one person who's been very calm since the season has started. Let's bring him on, Mr. Brian Daigle.
Oh, these intros, Ben. These intros are getting better and better, weirder and weirder, stranger and stranger. How are you both and everyone in the chat?
What's so strange about being calm, eh, Brian?
It's very strange me being calm. It's very strange me being calm. And
it's because it's that white room. That's what it is. That very bright. It's just he's found his inner peace.
It's a padded cell. It's a padded cell. Now, listen, we'll be nice and calm whilst we talk Fulham, and then when you inevitably ask me the transfer questions, I might not be as calm as Ariane shock horror. But yes, how we doing?
See his face start going red. Like, Brian, talk to me about.
That's when I pour the gasoline, Simeon.
Yeah, you saw our predicted lineup. You've seen the unchanged lineup in the last couple of weeks. What changes do you want to see, or do you envisage happening tomorrow night?
I envisage. So I spoke to you earlier, didn't I, Ben? I see wholesale changes. The only ones that I expect to start are Vicario, Van de Ven, Romero, and Richarlison. I get what you were both saying about Son and then Richarlison back at the weekend, but I think it's the other way. I think this is Richarlison's final chance at trying to get a goal in him, and if not, then it will be Son going forward. I think the fullbacks are exactly what you said. We'll give Adoji and Porro a rest. The midfield three, I think, will be the exact same three that ended Brentford, of Højbjerg, Skip and Lo Celso. And I think the wingers will be, or the front three will be Richarlison and then Perisic and Solomon either side of him.
And is that enough to win the game, do you think? Are you worried about that lineup? Or do you think, looking at it, we should have enough to get past Fulham?
What I would say about this, Simeon, compared to other times, is that should get us through. But if not, there will be huge quality on the bench to come on and impact the game. There will be a huge amount of quality able to come on. When we've been in this situation in previous years, the bench hasn't been to our best interest and to really strengthen in all areas. But the players that we've just mentioned, or I've just mentioned, that I think will be out, they can come on and have a huge impact and change the game all over the pitch. So if they can't get it done, I think the bench will come on and finish the job off.
Are you worried about the likes of someone like Adama Traore coming up against Ben Davies and potentially a player like Carlos Vinicius coming back to haunt Spurs?
Oh, I completely forgot about Vinicius. Why did you say that? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, he may get a goal against us. But do you know what? I love what you said. I can't wait, and I'm coming with you. I'm getting to see if we're really going to test Van de Ven's pace and see it in all its glory, like we've seen in that video he did for Wolfsburg running the length of the pitch, what better person to put him up against than Adama Traore?
Yeah, exactly. If Adama Traore does get past him, he probably balloons it over the bar. And now I've said that, he's definitely scoring.
Yeah, you've done it. You said Vinicius and now you said Traore. But you look at it, we never got to see Usain Bolt versus Linford Christie, but we will get to see Van de Ven versus Traore. So that could be one really worth looking at. And I do like Fulham's midfield. It depends how full strength they take this as well. It's got a lot of dependence on that. I think it'll be a great game, like you said, Ben. That a cup game under the lights are what this club are made on, aren't they? It's where we've had our famous nights in the cups. And it's good to be able to get to see a cup game before I go back to Toronto almost next month. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I really think it's going to be a very attacking, free-flowing, end-to-end game of football.
And you see if the front three or front four, let's say Rishi does start, Lo Celso, Rishi, Perisic, Solomon in the front line. Do you think there's enough firepower there to put Fulham to bed?
There should be. But what I've also said is I think with Richarlison playing Son and Kulusevski, I sometimes question whether they're the right players to play up top with Richarlison. And whether it should be someone like a Perisic whipping those balls in, and we know what his delivery is like, that for Richarlison to run onto, that could be the missing ingredient that Richarlison has had. And we saw when we were watching the second half in the studio, Simeon, how much of an impact Perisic had when he came on. I think Perisic has to start at the moment, in all honesty, both this and probably at Burnley if he has a good game. I think when he's come on, he's shown some real intent and can really help us.
Yeah, you must be buzzing to witness or experience your first away end under Ange, because the atmosphere has been absolutely electric.
Well, put it this way. Obviously, I'm missing the home games because I won't go into the stadium for obvious reasons, and I've seen all the videos of how incredible the atmosphere was there. But going away is always something different. It doesn't matter if it's in London, if it's in Manchester, what the game is, and what I have seen from the videos from Brentford and obviously Saturday against Bournemouth. It's been outstanding. Even after the game, when the players are coming over and staying in for a bit. I mean, the last time we saw things like that is when I was with Simeon for Leicester and both of you for Man City away.
Yeah.
I can't wait. The away days are just simply brilliant. So I am really looking forward to it.
Score prediction?
I'm going big, mate. I'm going big. I am going by 2 clear goals, but I'm going 4-2 Tottenham.
4-2.
I'm going to goal
get his goal. Is he going to get his goal, Richarlison?
Richarlison to get all 4. And Fulham's 2. No, I've got a feeling Solomon. Like you were saying with Vinicius, going back coming back to haunt his old team and getting a goal. I think Solomon will. I think Lo Celso will. And yeah, let's go for a Richie brace. Let's really be optimistic before we start talking about transfers where I'll be anything but, and say Richie's going to get 2.
Before we get on to the transfers, from someone that was at Nebworth and saw Robbie Williams play, what was your reaction to him singing that Big Ange song yesterday?
Mate, I spoke to you about this before. It's like literally, we were on the panel show where he sang it live when we were on stream with him, and obviously that had done the rounds. And then you saw that it got to Australia. I'd seen other podcasts talking about it. I'd seen people not even related to football talking about it. And I was at AEW yesterday with a mate. And then literally my phone went mad. And I could see Robbie Williams tagged on loads of Tottenham things. I thought, oh, what's going on? And I waited till I got out. And when I actually heard him, I didn't know if it was one of those lip-syncing things where it's someone singing over Robbie. And then I was like, huh? And then I was like, no, he's singing that. And then he said at the end, guess I'm a Spurs fan now. I was like, bloody hell. What? Congratulations. I mean, I don't know how many people say it, but congratulations to James. I mean, you talk about hitting the big time. Robbie Williams singing your own words to his iconic song is something to be damn proud of. So well done, James.
Yeah, do you reckon Alfie Devine, big Port Vale fan, Robbie Williams, must have been the Alfie Devine pool?
I think that's what got the loan deal done. It was only if Robbie said, I will join you on loan and grace you with my presence, Port Vale, if Robbie sings the Angels song. And I think that's what got the deal done. But yeah, it's great. This is what's happening with Angeball, isn't it? And Ange Postecoglou, the positivity and everything is getting around, and other fans are picking up on it. It's being spotted, and let's just hope this continues.
Yeah, so we got to talk about transfers now.
Oh, Jesus. Goodbye.
What's your opinion on Brennan Johnson first and foremost?
Okay, so I think he's a good player. I do think he's a good player. Do I think he's what we need right this moment? No, I don't. I don't. And what I don't get is striker, winger. It's scattergun Tottenham once again. I understand the homegrown. I understand the deal can be struck because Boris wants some of our players. Totally with that. I do think I'm not one of those that are split in the camp of whether I think he's a good player or not, because I do think he's a very good player. I just think that our assurance, our requirements and our needs at the moment aren't on the right wing. It's striker, centre-back, and if we can, another central midfielder if Højbjerg or someone does leave. There are 3 set priorities.
Unless the plan is to move Sonny inside. And then you use Sonny and Richarlison as the number 9s, and then there is a need to bring in another winger.
Touche, Ben. Touche. I didn't look at it that way. Honestly, that is a good point. But again, you're looking at this. You look at people like we said, Gift Orban.
Yeah.
Where he is an out-and-out striker. Do I think Son, if he moves forward, can get Harry Kane levels and ever will? No, I think if you look at a Heung-min Son, mate, I think you're more looking at Heung-min Son's successor. I think you're looking at someone that can play out wide for when he goes, and that could be next season, it could be 2 seasons, whatever. But it's getting in a young player ready. Listen, again, if Ange Postecoglou has come out and said, I want him, and they are come out of his words, then fair play. Fair play. Go get this deal done. But we'll have to wait and see. I saw Paul O'Keefe tweeted it yesterday going, we began contact early doors or early parts of the deal. And I was like, I responded to him going, early parts of the deal last week of the transfer window, Daniel Levy. A sentence that does not fill me with confidence of any kind. And we shall see. And then I've seen him saying as well, Paul O'Keefe today, saying a striker is unlikely unless there's a dramatic turn in events or a late opportunity. Words to that effect. And I'm like, so we've had 3 months, sold our record goal scorer, and now we might only be going for a striker if an opportunity arises. And I mean, is gift all bad not an opportunity?
Brian, some people would suggest Harry Kane leaving for a record fee is a pretty dramatic turn in events, but maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, but not the people that matter, Simeon. Not the people that matter. That's just another day at the office. That's just another ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
How do you assess the business that we've done so far?
Okay, so we'll break this down. The players that have come in have been great additions. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. But what this window was for was a lot of players out the door, get them off the wage bill, clear the deadwood, and to really strengthen this squad. We were a very, very weak team last season, and we know this. Mm-hmm. We've now got it up to a good standard. But if we want to challenge and be serious and do things, we need to bring extra players in. We've done well, don't get me wrong, but should I settle for well? Should I settle for bringing in players that we should have brought in or in positions that we've needed for 3 years, i.e. Van der Ven, Maddison, and go, oh, okay, we sorted that it took 3 years, now I'm happy. No. And again, as it stands, it's another window where we've balanced the books. Yeah. There's no outlay, there's no spending. Yes, players have come in that are of good quality, don't get me wrong. Can't argue with that whatsoever. Have they had an impact? 100%. Do I think they'll do well in the future? 100%. But we've balanced the books. We've got rid of our biggest asset. 86 million, we're led to believe, was cash up front. Money that's come in from other ventures or other avenues, revenue streams as we like to call them, and partnerships, strategic partnerships. And we've balanced the books. And if we don't bring in another centre-back, one injury to one of them, not the best. Richarlison hasn't got his shooting boots on. Son hasn't scored yet. All right, he hasn't been playing the best. If one of them get an injury, again, we're in a bad place. So we're 2-3 injuries away from another. I mean, you can say that about a lot of teams. But in defence and up front, one big injury to either, and then we're like, oh, well, who have we got to come in? It's like, oh yeah, no one. That's the worry for me. That is the worry for me.
If you're going to make a prediction, Brian, come Friday, how many players do you reckon we're going to bring in from now to the end of the window?
I think Tosin will get done.
Really?
And if I don't know why I'm starting to get the feelings that he will come in. I just don't know why it's him that I think will come in. I was thinking Brennan Johnson, but I just think it will be Tosin Adebayo. If he comes in, I'm a fan of his. I'll be very, very happy if he comes in. Really happy if he comes in. But that's it. That's all I can see happening. And then we'll have our final day scramble to try and get players in. As long as I don't see at any point we're at the end of the window, no one's coming and Clement Longlay's name is used again. Because I don't know why. I honestly don't think that's over. I'm being serious. I don't think if we can't get anyone in, that might be coming in, but we'll have to wait and see.
How many out do you reckon from now until the end?
4.
4. Who will they be?
Yeah. I think Tanguy and Dembele. Yeah. Don't know how, don't know where, but I think he'll go. I think we could see Spence out. I think we could see Reguilon out. And then either Sanchez or Tanganga.
You think Dyer's sticking around?
Not if it was my choice, I'd literally kick him out the stadium and kick him out the training ground and say goodbye, you're not welcome. And then I think after the window we'll see Hugo's contract terminated. So I'm not really counting him as an outgoing. I think it'll be a contract rip up. Yeah, but unfortunately, as much as I would like Dyer to be the number 1 out, I don't think he will.
Well, if Lloris wants to play again this season, or especially until January, he'll have to have that contract ripped up before the window ends.
Maybe Lloris to have one last hurrah tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's mate. All I need is a heart attack at bloody. That's all I need. Seeing him at the back, that would just be typical, wouldn't it? I think he's played his last game for Spurs. It's a shame that he hasn't had a chance to say goodbye to Spurs fans properly.
Yeah, don't worry, we gave the Shakhtar goalkeeper a great send-off at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
That's all right then. That's all right. It's all sorted then. That's just typical, isn't it? Shakhtar give their goalkeeper a send-off at our ground. This club, I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
He was a great servant to Shakhtar, Brian. So,
yeah, you can't forget that.
Yeah, Hugo Lloris for those 10 years was just he didn't really care, did he? Didn't really care. Just the 10 years with us.
And club captain.
And gave the chances to move to bigger clubs to stay with us. And yeah, so we'll see. But I think Lloris goes after the window closes.
Yeah, you're probably right. But Brian, look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and have a good day.
And you guys, and as always, Levy out.